When betrayal strikes in a relationship, it can feel like the world has come crashing down. You might be left questioning everything, from your partner's loyalty to the future you imagine together. Did you know that 70% of people who have experienced betrayal report lasting emotional scars, often affecting future relationships? And here's a shocking fact: nearly half of all marriages end due to infidelity or trust issues. The truth is, rebuilding trust after betrayal isn't something most people talk about. It's messy, difficult, and it takes time. But what if you could fix it? What if, with the right steps, you could rebuild a stronger, more secure relationship than before? In this video, we're going to dive into 6 powerful steps that will guide you through the process of rebuilding trust after betrayal. From understanding the pain to creating a new future together, these steps will help you heal and rebuild what was broken. Ready to take the first step toward healing and happiness? Let's get started. Chapter 1: Shattered Bonds. Understanding the heartbreak when trust is broken. It feels like the foundation of your relationship is shattered. It's more than just a hurt feeling, it's a deep emotional wound that can leave both partners questioning everything. According to a study by the American Psychological Association, betrayal causes a sense of deep emotional pain that can feel physically draining. The emotional distress can lead to anxiety, insomnia, and even depression. And while it might seem like you can just move on, the truth is that it takes time to heal. In many cases, betrayal can cause what's called attachment anxiety, which makes it harder for people to trust in future relationships. Researchers found that 70% of people who experienced betrayal struggled with trust in future relationships. This means that the emotional damage isn't just about one relationship, it can affect future ones, too. When betrayal happens, it's easy to get stuck in anger or sadness. But here's an important fact: holding on to these emotions for too long can actually prolong your pain. Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die, says author and relationship expert, Buddha. This powerful quote highlights how resentment can keep you in a cycle of hurt, preventing healing. The first step in rebuilding is understanding why betrayal hurts so deeply. It's not just about the action, it's about what the betrayal represents: a violation of your trust, security, and shared future. To heal, you must first acknowledge the depth of the wound. Giving yourself permission to feel the hurt, instead of dismissing it, is crucial in the healing process. Chapter 2: Rebuilding from the Rubble. The power of open communication. Once you've acknowledged the pain, it's time to start rebuilding. The key to this is open communication. But what does open communication actually mean? It's more than just talking about the betrayal, it's about both partners being completely honest, vulnerable, and willing to listen. According to relationship expert Dr. John Gottman, successful relationships depend on turning toward your partner's emotional needs, even when it's uncomfortable. In other words, you have to be willing to listen and share with an open heart. Studies show that 85% of couples who practice effective communication techniques, like active listening and empathy, are able to rebuild their relationship after betrayal. The key to this is not just saying your piece, but also truly hearing what your partner is saying. This helps both people feel seen and understood, which is crucial for trust to be rebuilt. One great strategy is using I statements instead of you statements. For example, saying "I feel hurt when" is less accusatory and allows your partner to understand your emotions better. Avoid blaming your partner or going into defense mode. Instead, focus on how the betrayal has affected you. It might feel awkward at first, but these small shifts in communication can lead to big changes in your relationship. Creating a space for both partners to speak openly without fear of judgment or interruption is vital. Dr. Gary Chapman, author of The 5 Love Languages, suggests that creating a safe zone for honest conversations can help avoid unnecessary conflict. Make sure you both agree on a calm, distraction-free time to talk. Patience during this phase is key. Trust can't be rebuilt overnight. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want more relationship advice and tips on rebuilding trust in your relationship. Let's move on to the next chapter. Chapter 3: Forgiveness. The bridge to healing. Forgiveness might seem impossible after betrayal, but it's essential for healing. Many people think forgiveness means excusing the betrayal, but that's not true. Forgiveness is for you, not for the person who hurt you. Holding on to anger and resentment can damage your mental health, according to research by the Mayo Clinic, which shows that unresolved anger can lead to high blood pressure and stress. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting what happened or even staying in the relationship, it means releasing the grip of anger and moving forward. According to Dr. Fred Luskin, author of Forgive for Good, forgiving allows you to let go of the emotional baggage that weighs you down. This is not about condoning the hurtful behavior, it's about freeing yourself from the negative emotions that hold you back. In fact, forgiving someone who has betrayed you has been shown to reduce feelings of stress, anxiety, and depression. A 2016 study published in Psychology Today found that people who practice forgiveness show a 40% decrease in anxiety and a 30% drop in depression symptoms. These numbers highlight how powerful forgiveness is for both emotional and physical health. A great strategy to help in the forgiveness process is journaling. Write down your feelings and reflect on what you need to let go of. Sometimes, writing a letter to your partner, whether or not you send it, can help you express your pain and start the process of healing. You don't have to forgive all at once. It can be a gradual process, but taking small steps each day will help you regain peace. Chapter 4: Rewriting the Narrative, Crafting New Relationship Goals After a Betrayal. It's essential to move beyond the past and start building a new vision for your relationship. One of the most effective ways to rebuild trust is to set new, shared goals together. According to Dr. John Gottman's research, couples who create a shared vision for the future are more likely to stay together long term. When you have a common purpose, it strengthens your connection and gives both of you something to look forward to. The process begins by discussing what you both need in the relationship going forward. This includes redefining boundaries and expectations. For example, if a partner's betrayal involved dishonesty, setting new boundaries around openness and transparency can be key. When trust is rebuilt, both partners should feel safe and secure, without fear of secrets or lies, says Dr. Laura Berman, a relationship expert. Having these kinds of conversations helps both partners understand each other's needs and work towards a better future together. Don't forget that setting goals isn't just about fixing the past. It's also about creating a healthier, happier future. It could involve deciding to take more vacations together or committing to attend couples therapy. Research shows that couples who engage in activities they both enjoy are more likely to bond and reconnect. A 2020 study by the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships found that couples who engage in shared recreational activities experience an 80% increase in relationship satisfaction. Additionally, be realistic in your expectations. While it's important to aim for a stronger relationship, remember that healing takes time. Starting with small, manageable goals can be more effective than setting overly ambitious ones. For example, if your goal is to improve communication, start with weekly check-ins. Small steps can lead to major improvements over time. Chapter 5: Healing Touch, Rekindling Emotional Intimacy. Physical touch isn't the only way to reconnect after a betrayal. In fact, emotional intimacy is equally important in rebuilding trust. Emotional intimacy allows both partners to feel seen, heard, and understood, which fosters a deep sense of security. According to relationship expert Dr. Sue Johnson, the foundation of all relationships is emotional safety. Without this, rebuilding trust becomes nearly impossible. One of the most effective ways to rekindle emotional intimacy is through vulnerability. Sharing your deepest fears, hopes, and desires creates a bond that's hard to break. Research by Dr. Brené Brown, a leading expert on vulnerability, reveals that being vulnerable in relationships leads to deeper connections and stronger trust. Brown's work shows that vulnerability is often the pathway to greater intimacy, which is why it's such an essential part of healing after betrayal. If you're wondering how to start this process, a great strategy is to initiate emotionally focused conversations. These aren't conversations where you address issues or blame each other. Instead, focus on how you both feel and how the betrayal has impacted you emotionally. It's a way to connect without being defensive. In addition to emotionally charged conversations, small acts of kindness can also help rebuild intimacy. A 2018 study published in the Journal of Marriage and Family found that couples who regularly perform kind gestures, like leaving sweet notes or doing thoughtful things for each other, report higher levels of relationship satisfaction. This doesn't mean grand romantic gestures, but simple acts that show care and attention. Chapter 6, Trust Reborn: How to Let Go of the Past and Move Forward. The final step in rebuilding trust is the most difficult, letting go of the past and truly moving forward. This doesn't mean forgetting what happened, it means accepting that the betrayal is a part of your history, not your future. According to a study published in Psychological Science, people who hold on to grudges or past wounds have higher levels of stress and lower immune function. By letting go of the past, you open the door for healing. The key to letting go is changing your perspective. Instead of focusing on what happened, focus on what you can control, the present and the future. It's about shifting your mindset from what was to what could be. A powerful quote by author and therapist Harville Hendrix states, "The past is not what happens, but how you remember it." This shift in perspective allows you to reframe your relationship and look forward to what's next. A great way to begin this process is by practicing mindfulness. Being present in the moment helps you stop obsessing over past mistakes and focus on your relationship's current state. Research from the University of California found that couples who practice mindfulness techniques experience lower levels of conflict and greater relationship satisfaction. Another useful strategy is to create new, positive memories with your partner. Going on a trip or trying something new together can help shift the narrative. Studies show that shared new experiences help couples grow closer and replace old, painful memories with more positive ones. Finally, building trust takes time and consistent effort. According to Dr. Shirley Glass, a leading expert on infidelity and betrayal, trust is rebuilt through small acts of consistency. These actions include being reliable, following through on promises, and demonstrating that you are trustworthy every day. While it may take months or even years to fully rebuild trust, consistent actions will lead you to a stronger, healthier relationship. Remember to subscribe for more relationship advice and tips on creating stronger, healthier connections. In conclusion, letting go of the past and moving forward requires patience, understanding, and dedication. While the path may not always be smooth, by embracing these strategies, new goals, emotional intimacy, and consistent trust-building actions, you and your partner can rebuild trust and create a lasting, healthy relationship.